What is going on, guys? In this video we are going to be looking at a disguise defense that I've been using online. It's been working well, and I don't know if this is actually a glitch in the game. It's been around for quite a while. Don't see a lot of people using it, and that's why I'm kind of bringing this out this year. I think it's a really good defense for creating block sheds, and it's going to make your opponent have to make a read. In other words, he's not really going to know, for the most part, what you're running if you do this correctly. He's not going to know if you're going to be in a cover 3 shell, a cover 2 shell, man, or whatever. It confuses a lot of people. And the 3-3-5, I believe, is probably one of the best block shed defenses in the game. You only really have to send 3, and a lot of times you're just going to get a great block shed by doing this. I don't know, it just creates confusion, I guess. So here's what we're going to do. First things first, we're going to be doing this out of the nickel 3-3-5, and the two plays we're always going to call when we call our plays is either FS middle 3 or SS Mike cross. The reason why, the safety's, we're not going to base a line or anything. The safety's going to drop down in the box, and that's what's going to help confuse our opponent. So we'll go ahead and call SS Mike cross first. And I'll show you the adjustments that I'm going to make on a typical play. We'll just call this slot post angle. And what I'll also do that I haven't included in the videos, most of the time I'm going to have safeties at linebackers too, just to put more speed on the field. Now, as you can see, you only kind of want to do this if your opponent is passing the ball a lot, because it is kind of vulnerable to the run. It's not the worst out there, especially if you take your user and go and hang out in the gap, but it is kind of vulnerable to some inside zones and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is, of course, we called this play. Now we're going to audible to, we'll start with the Tampa 2. So you can see with the Tampa 2, you're still going to have the same look. It's not going to change the defensive alignment. However, I do like to make a couple of adjustments here, because after a while, your opponent's going to kind of start, trying some stuff, thinking the safety's down the box in a cover 2 shell like that. He's probably going to try some kind of streak or fade. So what I'd like to do to eliminate that is I'm going to man up O, and then I'm going to put X in a hard flat or a curl flat, as you can see right there. And then typically this guy over here is going to be my user. Depending on what defense, sometimes I'll user right here, the middle linebacker, but a lot of times he's going to be my user. And this is going to create some confusion and some block sheds most of the time. So as you can see there was really nothing open, and we got a great block shed. Just the way the defensive is aligned on this play is a little bit different than just the regular 3-3-5 alignment, like if you were to call a stock cover 3, which I believe creates some block sheds. So once again, this is the Tampa 2. So once you get these adjustments down, it's actually pretty easy. As you can see, everybody's pretty well locked up, and we get a nice block shed coming off the edge. So that's Tampa 2. So we'll do it one more time to show you the simple adjustments that I make. Now you can also make your own. It doesn't necessarily have to be this. You can mix this up, keep it as is, a couple plays, and that cloud flat will go quite a ways down the field with O. But once again, just to be safe, I like to man him up, and then this time I'll put a hard flat out there. But you can make adjustments like this. The only thing is, if you do that, a lot of times, you kind of have to watch the running back. So if that's the case, I'd probably use this guy and keep an eye on the running back. But for the most part, he's going to be my user. And the block shed is created. Okay, so that's Tampa 2. Now we're going to audible. First of all, here's how I like to set my audibles too. I like to have cover 3 cloud. Triangle, I kind of keep loop crash two in there sometimes, but Tampa 2 and cover 4 drop are my main ones. You can put, if you don't like loop crash, you can just put cover 2 man. The only thing is you can kind of tell, of course, with man coverage how the corners will press, but it's up to you how you do this. Whoops, I screwed this up. So this time we're going to go to cover 3 cloud, and as you can see, not really much of a giveaway there. Now you can just keep this play as is. This is one where I'm typically going to use her the spy over here, and that one didn't really create the block shed that the cover 2 does, but this will keep your opponent off guard. A lot of times he's just not going to know what defense you're in. So cover 3 cloud, make whatever adjustments you want to do. Whoops. It really is up to you here. And once again, we get a nice block shed. So the whole thing that I feel like creates the most confusion here, though, is with the Tampa 2, mixing up the cover 3 cloud, the cover 4 drop, and the Tampa 2, because right here, your opponent's not really, it's going to be hard to tell if you're in a cover 3 or a cover 2. And, the things that are locked up are a lot different, with the zones in a cover 2 versus a cover 3. So a lot of Madden anymore is people get just relying on cover 3 defense. And if you do that, your opponent is going to have cover 3 beaters. Anybody that's decent in Madden, they know how to beat cover 3s and cover 2s and stuff like that. But if you disguise them and make them make a read, more often than not, you're going to get a nice block shed. So that's what I really like about this defense. So you just need to, learn to make the adjustments based on what your opponent's doing. And I'm sure, when it comes to passing the ball, you're going to have some pretty good success. This cover 2, for some reason, just creates a really nice block shed. I don't know why the cover 2 is better than like the cover 3 shells, but this one, when you audible to the cover 2, the block shed on it is real, and especially if you have like an LT or a Von Miller in Mutt, it's going to be really hard to stop once they get in their zones. So go ahead and show you the cover 4 too. Cover 4 drop, we audible there. You can tell it. Nobody moves at all, so they're not going to know if you're in a cover 3, cover 2, or whatever. I don't exactly like the cover 4 drops because people that know how to beat it, it can be beat over the top pretty easy. But when you're mixing this in and they're not going to know, the cover 4 is a really good defense. A lot of times you're going to get double teams on some of the outsides, and just it's hard to, when you have to make a read like this, it's usually pretty tough. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the other play that we call, and it's basically the same adjustments as what we are just doing. It's just the safety on the opposite side is going to be the one that's dropping down. So just another way to add some confusion. So this time it's FS middle 3. As you can see here, same kind of deal. We're going to audible to a Tampa 2. And once again, one of the adjustments that I'm going to make is just manning the outside corner up. Whoops, dang it. Putting this guy either in a flat zone or a curl flat. And typically with this look, my user is going to be the middle linebacker. And I actually, if you want, this safety has the ability to get burnt on a streak or a fade, in a cover 2 typically, but with that cloud flat, a lot of times by the time he gets far enough down the field, the safety's going to recover and kind of be in the seam. So I'm not too worried about him. But if you want, you can also, make an adjustment there too. So, oops. And it's all about taking reads away. So this time we're going to audible to the loop crash. And, this will get heat if you run this as is. Most of the time when you're playing online, I don't really know about practice mode. Yeah, practice mode, it's not going to, but you're still going to get the blockshed there. So you can actually run this as is every now and then if you like the loop crash. This time we're going to audible to a cover 4. And everything's, covered up pretty good, and you're going to get a nice little blockshed. Sorry, my controller's messed up. My buttons get stuck on the thing here, but so once again, we're only going to send 3, and we're going to rely on good coverage and a blockshed here. So guys, give this defense a shot. Try it. If your opponent's running the ball a lot, I wouldn't really, you know, overuse it. You are going to get ran on a little bit, but the 3-3-5 is actually pretty decent against a lot of runs. So this would be much better as a disguised defense than, say, like the dime 2-3-6, 3-2-6, those formations. And then, just to throw them off, you can run the original play that we call and make a few adjustments from time to time, like something like this. And like I said, you're going to disguise your coverage well, and your opponent's not really going to be able to pick up on, what you're doing. A lot of times you just got to take your user and, take a read away, and usually you'll get the blockshed.